I came out here last week and did a downspout to drain clean, starting from the street curb hole, coming up through the line with a snake. This is a very large machine. It's a Spartan 1065. Right now I've got a 3/4 inch cable in there and cutters, and I made it just about to where that shovel is, and it started giving me trouble. And I'm using blades, so I'm going through, and it is passing through the diameter of the pipe, and it wouldn't go any farther than this right here. Can you see that? The line is just smushed, crushed, and it's cracking up. There's a big crack here in this line, and it's like that all the way up to the tree where it was impassable, right there where the foliage and the grass meet. And so they then went from the far end up here at the T of this downspout drain, right here where it tees in. I had pulled this up, took this piece off, and went down through the line this way. You can see this line angles off like kind of almost under the tree, but it made it to about 3 feet from the tree and wouldn't go any further with cutters. So we're doing a downspout drain replacement, or repair is what I call these. And a little bit tricky between a gas line and an electric line. So once again, if the homeowner would not have had me come out to do proper troubleshooting, someone may have tried to repair this line just in the area where he got the cable to. It probably didn't have cutters on it, or if it did, they were very small. And there'd still be a problem in the line. So this is the proper amount of drain towel to replace. Once completed, this line will have no problems and will function properly for many years into the future. So once you've got your trench cleared, you got a pretty good fall here to where you're going to tie in, you can go ahead and cut the pipe. Just look at how bad that was. It was just totally smushed and crushed. We've got it to where we're beyond that point. We just want to cut it. I'm going to use a sawzall. I'm just cutting out the piece that's in my way so I can run a new pipe and tie in here to the good pipe going to the street. So I've also gone up through the line originally when I came out here through that T going the other way to the back side of the home, just to be sure that that line is all good, because we don't want to have to come back in here and do any more repair. So be sure to use Ote glue, and this one's an all-purpose. This doesn't really need anything but glue on there. Up by the house, this 90 comes down off the downspout. I've cut this pipe to the proper length. I'm going to go ahead and install to the T as well. I'm going to go ahead and glue up the T. I like to have the letters face up. That's looking pretty good. Go ahead and cut a piece of pipe going from the 90 up to the downspout. Put on an adapter. make it so it fits pretty snug. Hacksaw works pretty good. Just going to double check if it's just underneath of the downspout. That means we can put our adapter on. Do not glue this piece. Generous portion of Ote on the fitting. Put that down in there, and hopefully you'll have a little bit of area that you can articulate this. So it'll fit inside there. That's looking real nice. It's got downhill flow to the T. Fits real nice here at the adapter to the downspout. Alright, I'm ready to install the next section. I've just cut a piece of pipe. Oh, it's probably about 8 feet. And I'm going to hook it up here because there's a bell section that goes on next. You can't put a bell backwards here. I'm going to show you how that works as well. So I kicked the pipe together real well, got the lettering facing up, and just one screw. That's a 1/2 inch, number 8 hex head screw. I'm going to go ahead and put one here at the 90-degree elbow as well. Now it's not something you have to do. This is just something I do. I've been installing for a long time, and I found that I have no issues ever when I put these screws in here. They're 1/2 inch long, they just barely pierce the inside of the pipe. So that's a nice mechanical bond as well as a chemical bond that we've put onto these fittings. I've gotten it up here to the first 22-degree elbow, and I'm going to work here at the tie-in point. And again, hand dug across the area where, I don't know if you can see that yellow flag down there, but we hand dug across the gas line. And it's just a little bit easier to hook up the line when I put the elbow on here first. And this is a 22-degree elbow. Looks like it's lining up pretty nicely there inside of the trench. Gotta make sure it's on there all the way. Just kind of tap with the side of my hammer. Alright, I've left this piece a little long on purpose. I've got it tapped into the elbow at our tie-in point. And now I want to make a perfect cut so that once I put this together, I can just lift these two pieces of pipe up, put my pipe inside the coupling, push it down, and it'll be installed. It's just a matter of covering it up. And when you make your measurement, you want to go to the end of the coupling. Can you see where the coupling housing goes to? It goes to right here. So I've made a cut. I'm making my cut directly over top of that so that we can have a nice tight fit. If you noticed, all the lettering went right inside that coupling. It's right to the very end of that coupling. Just to be sure the coupling and pipe are all together, I like to push on one side of it. Oh yeah, it went in just like a maybe 1/4 of an inch on this side of the coupling. Now that I've got that all together, I'm going to go ahead and screw it. That way I know it's not coming apart. Ever. That coupling is good and tight. And one reason why I do that is Ote, it doesn't matter what type of glue it is. This is polyethylene to polystyrene fittings. And there's no glue in the world that can truly chemical bond that together. So all connections, couplings, I've put screws and glue on. The bell fittings, I've simply hammered together. And you don't need to put any glue on there. And the bell fitting is 3 inches long, so the pipe's not coming out of it. All that's left to do here is cover this up. Come back to watch more how-to videos, the finer points of downspout drain tile repair, right here on Atlantic Drain.